I have another update for the Coop Kitty community about actually another Coop Kitty today. We have Mr. CJ Man. Coop, I will say his test did come back. It was like the formal FIP test. It is positive for wet FIP. He is responding really, really well to the treatment. A few days ago, I noticed CJ wasn't really acting like himself, and he had peed outside the litter box. This really bright pee. I couldn't get him to eat or drink anything. He ate some Chewy Treat. He threw it up. The earliest vet appointment I could get was this morning, Tuesday morning. And it actually wasn't with our regular vet, but it was who I could get in with. And they ran some blood work, and his bilirubin is extremely high. His platelets are extremely low, and he's very anemic. And they said, basically, we assume you don't want to say goodbye, so we recommend getting him to Auburn or Mississippi State today. And I'm not crying now, because I cried a lot today, and at this point I am just angry, and I will get to that in a moment. I'm very happy CJ is with me in the car now, but I am currently sitting in Auburn, Alabama, outside of the clinic that I put a very sick cat in the car for 2.5 hours to drive to. And when we were in Birmingham, we were pretty much like smack 50-50 in between Auburn and Mississippi State. Drive 2 hours and 8 minutes to Auburn, or like 2 hours and 20 minutes to Mississippi State. Our vet knew people here in Auburn, made a call, told them we were coming, said, go, when you get there, go to the emergency side. They are going to be expecting you. They know that you're coming for a blood transfusion. They'll take care of you. Okay. Cried off and on all morning. Just the idea of knowing that he would I'd probably have to leave him here in Auburn, 2.5 hours away. But we came here, mentally prepared for it, went in. They said, we don't have you on our board. We don't know who you are. I was I was speechless. I said, our vet at blankety blank clinic called and said we were coming for a blood transfusion, and she said, well, we're negative on blood. We don't have any. So at that point, the panic kind of starts to set in, and they're kind of looking all at each other like, what is this girl talking about? I said, our vet called. They sent our records over this morning, said we were coming and that you would be expecting us. She's like, we haven't heard from anybody. So they get us on like a general admission in any way. And my best friend starts making calls up in Birmingham to places asking around if they have blood. And at this point, I still don't know CJ's blood type. Right now, I still don't know CJ's blood type, and we're going to get to that in a moment. We're there, they take him back, kind of get him situated, and a very sweet student comes to talk to me. Well, okay, back up. Before this very sweet med student comes to talk to me, I call our vet and basically give them the rundown of like, they don't like, and the vet that we saw this morning is not our normal vet, but it was who we could see earliest this morning, and I really wanted to get him in sooner rather than later. So called them. They're angry on behalf of us, like can't believe we've had this kind of reception down here in Auburn, and is very apologetic, and is like, let me get on the phone with them, whatnot. And I said, great, thank you so much, thinking this is all about to be sorted out. Come back in, because I'm a pacer when I'm talking on the phone, and I don't have very nice things to say, and my tone is not very Southern. We'll just say that, not very Southern sweet, when talking about this clinic as I'm standing inside of it. So I stepped outside, and very, very sweet med student comes to talk to me, and she's asking questions, and I realize she hasn't seen the chart either. She's asking for history and whatnot, and this is a teaching facility, and that is fine and good. So if you need to practice asking questions, and that is their standard procedure, that's fine. But I said, hey, excuse me, we're actually here for a blood transfusion. His charts were sent over. We were told that y'all would be waiting for us when we arrived. We've been in the car for 2.5 hours. And she said, oh, well, we haven't seen that, but I'll talk to the vet. Yada, yada, yada. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. Probably another hour passes. And then a vet and the med student come, pull me in a room. When they pull me in a room, again, the panic starts setting in. At this point, I've cried off and on all day. And that vet asked for the history. And at no point have any of them said if they have looked at the chart that our clinic at blankety blank sent over this morning. Because I said, you know, excuse me, like, I hate to interrupt, but like, we were here for a blood transfusion. We're not here for diagnostics. We were diagnosed this morning. We're here for a blood transfusion. Well, he may not even need blood, is what that vet said to me. The other thing that vet said to me, and what I already suspected, but thought that would be like lightning striking in the same place twice at the same time. How crazy would that be? Was CJ probably has wet FIP2. He has those fluid-filled pockets around some of his organs, and I, truth be told, kind of suspected it just based on what I had seen in Coop and kind of the feel of his belly. So that does not surprise me, even though it is like lightning striking twice in the same place at the same time. FIP is more common in cats under 2 years old. Coop is around 8, CJ is around 4. For 2 cats in the same household to get it at the same time is bizarre. I should buy a lottery ticket, or 10, because this is also going to be rather pricey. Y'all have been so incredible with the fundraising for Coop's FIP. Y'all have raised around $15,000, and we are going to pull from that for some of CJ's treatment. CJ, and I'm not gonna cry, I've been crying off and on all day, and again, I'm a little more angry right now than sad, and if I started angry crying, I wouldn't stop for the 2.5 hour drive home, so we're not gonna go there. But he needs a little more, he needs more hospitalization. Coop actually wasn't hospitalized at all. I think we caught his FIP actually pretty early. CJ, with having the liver issues that he's having now, he's not eating and drinking. He does need to be hospitalized. He needs to get IV fluids. So after talking to the vet in there, and after I asked the vet student to please type his blood. When they had not typed his blood, and they said, well, maybe he doesn't even need blood. That, in my head, I decided we're leaving. I'm not leaving him here. I'm not uncomfortable leaving him here. We're 2.5 hours from home, and just my gut told me just no, like we need to leave. Made some calls to some clinics up in Birmingham. My best friend also made some calls. She's been so helpful with finding a place. We did find a clinic that will take him tonight and admit him for some fluids and some support for him. Because I think he really doesn't feel good. He's kind of puny. They said, oh, he was so good, he didn't put up a fight at all. And I thought, oh yeah, that means it really doesn't feel good, because this, like I said, his nickname is Chaos Jr. So the fact that he's not putting up much of a fight, thought he really doesn't feel good. And he just spent 2.5 hours in the car. I actually called Mississippi State. They were wonderful on the phone. They were so kind and reassuring on the phone, and my first plan was to take him straight to Mississippi State tonight, which is crazy because when we were in Birmingham, again, we were 50-50 in between Auburn and Mississippi State, and now we are 4 hours from Mississippi State, and then it would be 2 hours back to Birmingham from Mississippi, and that's just, I think that's too much for us today. I'm really tired emotionally, mentally, physically. I think he's really tired mentally, emotionally, physically, so that's just too much for us tonight. But found a clinic that's going to admit him tonight, get him some support, and then we will go from there. If the clinic in Birmingham is able to get him what he needs, then we will probably just stay there. If they think he needs a little more intensive care. That's why we came to Auburn in the first place, Auburn, Mississippi State, because they want us to see an internal medicine specialist, and then Actually, the vet we were talking to, I was talking to, said, well, maybe we can get him transferred to the internal medicine specialist. And I thought, you're not the internal medicine specialist? Like, the whole reason we're here is for the internal medicine specialist and to get a blood transfusion. I was like, so what have you done? What have you done? No blood typing, no blood, no internal medicine. What? We're leaving. Anyway, we're going to get him admitted in Birmingham tonight. Going to get his FIP test rolling up there and then go from there. One way or another, this is going to be a little more pricey than Coop's Care. So we're going to pull from that fund and use it until we can use it no more. The quote I was given from Mississippi State just for the blood transfusion and hospitalization was $5,000 to $6,000. And the overnight vet visit at the clinic tonight is probably going to be $2,000 to $3,000. Today has just been a whirlwind, but we have our guy. Anytime we have something scary happen, I'm so fearful that I'll walk into a vet office and leave with an empty carrier, and we didn't do that. Here they come. I have him with me, and he's coming, and he's going to be admitted in Birmingham, and that is fine. Reel it in. Sorry, this was so long-winded. It has been such a day, and just thank you all for all of the love and support that you give to all of the Coop kitties. And when it rains, it pours. Literally, it is pouring in Auburn right now. I will keep you guys posted on his FIP test and his bilirubin, his platelet levels, if we get the blood transfusion, if we move him to Mississippi State. A lot is up in the air right now, but he's with me and he's stable enough to transfer up to Birmingham. So, gotta be thankful for that.